Executive Director, CEO of the Port of Corpus Christi, Sean Strawbridge, is apparently leaving sooner than he's been telling the public. This comes after Port Commissioners accepted his letter of resignation. And that happened after our investigation into his spending of port funds aired right here on KRIS 6.
Well, that's right. That separation agreement, which could mean a hefty payday for Strawbridge and a big liability for the port. Investigative reporter Brian Hoffman broke this story for us in the Port Commissioners' special meeting where they specifically discussed Strawbridge's departure. Brian, what did you learn at that meeting?
Clara, Pat, the actual discussion happened in executive session or behind closed doors, so little is currently known about the contents of the separation agreement. But we do know that commissioners were receiving legal advice on proposed changes to that agreement, which were rumored to contain even more benefits for Strawbridge, which could involve being paid out for the remainder of his contract. That equates to millions of dollars.
Mr. Chairman, I move on item 9A that we take no action on proposed changes to the CEO's separation or release agreement.
That was Commissioner David Engel motioning that the commission make no changes to the current agreement, which they say was voted on during the last meeting. It is important to note that Commissioner Engel is the chair of the audit committee and the person who signed off on all of Strawbridge's expenses. We have tried to speak to Engel at least twice, and now he tells us to reach out to his assistant for an interview. So far, we don't know what is actually in the final separation agreement, but have submitted another public information request for the details. However, we are told the separation agreement may be signed today. Only one commissioner voted against the separation agreement, and she says she is seeking for more transparency into port spending.
The public has the right to know. It is extremely important that the port watch our budget, we watch spending, and that we are fiduciaries of the public trust.
Some, like Sean Strawbridge, who promised an interview on 2 separate occasions but has yet to deliver, or even the Port of Corpus Christi chairman Charlie Zahn, who refuses to give us any information. Now, we, of course, will continue to gather information regardless of public officials' refusal to speak with us. Commissioner Gonzalez tells us that Strawbridge's last day will, in fact, be May 31st rather than June 2nd. As far as the future, the port has yet to announce an interim CEO. They did vote, however, to hire Shea Harding Associates to conduct a search to help them with a permanent replacement. Pat?
Brian, it seems most at the port are just unwilling to give out any information, even though it's a government entity. Why do you think this is the case?
You know, Pat, it's hard to say when most of our requests are either ignored or just flat out denied. But in the case of Commissioner Zahn today, he made it abundantly clear that he won't talk to us and to me specifically because he doesn't agree with our reporting about Sean Strawbridge's spending. He then spoke to another reporter from a different media outlet instead, although he did wait until I walked away and said that he wouldn't say anything further until I did. We will continue to make requests for interviews to inform you, the public, about what's going on. For 6 Investigates, Brian Hoffman.